We have a really interesting generic question here, which isn't particularly construction related, but what do you do? Sorry, the screen moves. How do you deal with a client who simply ignores requests for payment or for attention until they're ready? I think it's back to you, Simon. I mean, you can employ a DCA, and Emma will, and Charlie will do the top.
I think it's having you go back to process. So it's process. You should, just like you have on any collection process. This should be no different. And for example, the one thing is about being proactive and preemptive on these things. So you do not wait until it is a due debt. You actually diarise it 4 weeks in advance. You go to them and you give them the chance to come up with any disputes or anything else, surface all of those, and then you bought yourself 4 weeks to actually get rid of those issues. Because within a lot of the construction industry, as we know, those sort of negotiations, the adjudications, all of those things take an inordinate amount of time. So if that's the case, you do it 4 weeks before. You then go due date, you should be paid. A lot of them will be paid at that point, but then those, as we're talking about here, are going to just ignore you. So they've ignored you asking about what's going on, and if there are any reasons for non-payment, then you get the ones who are just going to ignore it. You send them effectively the old letter before action going, but you adapt it to go, we will, if you don't reply to this within this time period, say 2 weeks, we'll go dispute process, and you stick to your dispute process because every contract's going to have one in there. And you actually make sure that you send the right letters and you do all of that. It's worth employing the right consultants or legal advice around that to make sure you got the wording correct on all of those sort of things to be able to get to that, and so that you are compliant with the contract even if they're not. That will give you the best chance. And then if they don't, you go legal.
Yeah,
shouldn't be scared about doing that, because as we've said before, it is the difference often between making a profit and not making a profit.